Hey guys, and welcome to Chapman Home and Living. I'm Jacob Chapman, and I'm here to give you a few quick tips on your home buying experience of what not to do to help make sure that your contracts might get accepted more often. So, first things first, I'm super excited that you're looking forward to buying a new home. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, this is your third home, maybe you're an investor, and maybe it's your 100th home, these tips can apply to everyone. So, first and foremost, many times when people are selling their home, they want to make sure that the listing agent is present, or if they're living in themselves, the seller themselves might be present in their home, especially if they're doing an open house. So, some things you may not want to do to help better your chances. There are three things that come to mind. First and foremost, don't give the listing agent or the seller more information than is necessary. Now, I'm not saying you need to lie to them or anything. You don't need to cover anything up. But if you're checking out home right at the top bit of your budget, maybe just don't mention that. Many times people, when they're checking out a home, they're like, oh, I love it, but it's right at the edge of our budget. That's not a problem. But the problem may come up is when that seller is reviewing multiple offers for that home and they're thinking about sending out counter offers. Well, if they already know you're at the top end of your budget, they might not be interested in sending you a counter offer when you might have been able to work something out with them by making some other adjustments later on down the line. So you don't want to get yourself out of the running before you're even in it just by opening your mouth about giving the listing agent or seller more information than they need. Second point that's super important to remember, don't offend the seller or offend making comments about the home. Now, obviously, when you're going to homes, you're checking out hundreds of homes maybe at a time. You want to make sure you find the best home for you. If the seller or the buyer or the seller or the listing agent is present, I strongly recommend do not go into home saying things that might come to mind like, ooh, I just really don't like this paint color, or everything's great, but that kitchen, it needs to be changed, or oh, if this is such a great home if it weren't for this thing. When you do that, you remember the people who are selling their homes more often than not, it's the home that they love. They have a lot of cherished memories in it. And by saying that their paint choice or their architectural choice that they built the home or whatever it might be is bad, even if you submit an offer, even if you're maybe a higher priced one, if you've offended them, you never know. They might just go with someone else because they don't want you specifically to have that home. Again, kind of in the same vein, the third point is maybe not share too much about what your plans are for the home. Be a little bit more open-minded with it when you're talking with the seller or with the listing agent around. Point being, you might be super excited for the home. You might love it, might have great prospects, and you might go a little bit too far of saying, oh, I can't wait till I just gut the kitchen and put in new granite countertops, or I can't wait until we knock down this wall, or I can't wait until we do X, Y, or Z. Going in the same vein, but instead of offending them, it might hurt them to know that their childhood home or their grandfather's home or whatever it might be that they have cherished memories of might get torn down to studs, where that might not look anything like it does in the past. And again, same concept of they might want to sell it to someone who's more likely to preserve it just out of sentimental value. So those are three things that might be totally fine saying to your buyer's agent. It might be totally important to make sure you're accounting for in your own home purchasing. But around the seller or the listing agent. Well, thanks guys for checking this video out. I'm Jacob Chapman, and if you have any questions, send me a comment, shoot me a message, and I'm happy to help you out. And best of luck buying your next home.